Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidina Muhammad al-Fatih al-Khatim wa ala alihi haqqa qadrihi. Assalamu alaikum. Good afternoon, everyone. In the name of Allah, the most beneficent, the most merciful, all praises are due to the Almighty Allah, the Lord of the universe, the most beneficent, the most merciful, the sovereign of the day of judgment. You alone we worship, and from you alone we implore help. Guide us to straight path, the path of those whom you have favored, neither of those who have incurred your wrath, nor of those who have gone astray. O Allah, maintain your praise persistently upon our chief and master Muhammad, the key to that which is closed, the seal to that which is past, the upholder of the truth by the means of truth, the proper guide to your straight path, and upon his family according to his eminence and his great honor. Assalamu alaikum once again. Good afternoon, everyone. I am back on my series of lectures on the topic reflection on the verses of the Holy Qur'an. If you can remember, in the last session we were still in the third chapter of the Holy Book, discussing the statement of Allah, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, Inna Allah astafa Adama wa Nuhan wa ala Ibrahima wa ala Imran ala alamin. Having enumerated the virtues of Prophet Adam, how he was chosen by the Almighty Allah, as stated in this verse, how he was elevated above the ranks of the angels, how the Almighty Allah exclusively chose him and taught him the names and nature of everything, away from angels, that is, away from the knowledge of the angels. When the angels were challenged by the Almighty Allah, when they were confronted to name those things by their names and explain their nature, they replied, Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana. On account of which Adam was instructed by God to teach them, and he did, after which the Almighty Allah ordered them to fall down in prostration to him, and they complied, as a result of which the Almighty Allah, because the devil refused to comply as the angels did, he was cursed and sent away by the Almighty Allah. The Almighty Allah said, "Ukhruj minna fa innaka rajim wa inna alayka la'nata." In other verses, "Wa inna alayka la'nati ila yawmiddin." And that originated the preference of Adam over all other creatures. Then down to Prophet Noah, how Noah was chosen by the special grace of Allah and was sent to his people, and he stayed among them. The Almighty Allah sent a terrific flood to consume them, and they were all destroyed by the flood. And Noah, along with the believing servants, about 40 of them, some scholars say about 80, 40 men and 40 women. According to those who said they were only 40, 30 men, 30 women, who were delivered in the ark. And as soon as they arrived, as soon as the water was shrunk, and the ark settled on the Mount of Judy, وَقِيدَ الْمَاءُ وَقُضِيَ الْأَمْرُ وَاسْتَوَتْ عَلَى الْجُودِ. As a result of that, shortly afterwards, they were all caused to die, with the exception of only 3 children of Noah, that is Sam, Ham, and Harith. Sam was the great Abraham, was chosen in the kingdom of Babylon, how Abraham had his first child by Hagar, the mother of Ishmael, and how the mother of Ishmael and her son were chosen by the Almighty Allah. And what led to all this discussion is to provide an account of how the genealogy of Jesus Christ was chosen by the Almighty Allah, right from Adam down to his mother Mary. And his great-grandfather was Isaac, the second son of Abraham. Isaac was born about a decade or so after Ishmael by his mother Sarah. And when he was born in Syria, in the blessed land of Syria, he grew up there. And when he attained the age of puberty, he got married to his wife, who in her turn gave birth to twins, Esau and Jacob. So Esau was his first son, while Jacob was the second, yet Jacob was the one preferred and chosen above his brother Esau. And that is why he was the one that fathered all the prophets of Israelites. He was the father of 12 children, that is the 12 tribes of Jews, 12 Jewish tribes, Prophet Joseph and his 11 brothers. And among them, Lawi was the one chosen to give birth. After Joseph, Lawi was the one chosen by God to give birth to all the prophets, because he was the great-grandfather of Prophet Moses, Prophet Aaron, and he was equally the great-great-grandfather of Jesus Christ, peace be upon him. Through Imran, who was the father of Mary. That's why the Almighty Allah said, in Allah safa Adam wa Nuhan wa ala Ibrahim wa ala Imran ala alamin. Certainly the Almighty Allah chose Adam, the family of Imran, and Abraham, the family of Abraham and the family of Imran among or above the creatures of their time, above their contemporaries. So, Zuriyatan ba'duha min ba'din wallahu samin alim. We can see how as I said earlier, the genealogy was exclusively chosen by the Almighty Allah and elevated above other creatures of their times, and how the wife of Imran, having conceived, she made a vow to the Almighty Allah. All this story was meant to demystify the claims of the Christians of Najran, to show them that the basis on which they built their ideology, that Jesus Christ was the Son of God, was wrong. That is why the Almighty Allah here provided an account, a detailed account of how the great mother of Jesus Christ made a vow to the Almighty. Having conceived, she made a vow. She said, Rabbi inni nazartu laka ma fi batni muharraran fataqabbal minni innaka anta samiul alim. Oh my Lord, I have made a vow to you of whatever I conceived, that I'm going to dedicate it to your service, and exclusively to your service and no more. Whatever is conveyed in my womb, I'm going to dedicate the content. Can you hear? Can you imagine? The content of my womb. Whatever is contained in my womb is dedicated to your service. Muharraran. I'm going to leave it of any motherly obligation. That is, of any obligation that a child is supposed to give, that is, to discharge to his mother. Of any obligation expected by a mother from her child. That is, whatever obligation she has towards the child, that's what you call motherly obligation. She is going to discharge that obligation, expecting nothing in return from the child. Fataqabbal minni, oh my Lord, accept this vow from me. Innaka anta samiul. Can you imagine? Our concern, Muslims of today, is for the Almighty Allah to accept our prayers and grant our wishes, whatever wishes we have. For them, they were very much concerned that the Almighty Allah should accept their vow, the vow they have made to Him, and no more. They expect nothing in return. All their concern is for the Almighty Allah to accept their devotions and their vows. فَتَقَبَّلْ مِنِّي. Just as our great-great-grandfather Abraham said, when he cried, having finished rebuilding the house of God in Mecca, he was crying along with his child Ismail, Rabbana taqabbal minna. Oh our Lord, accept our devotion and our services. That is their concern. While for us, our major concern is for the Almighty Allah to accept our prayers and grant our material wishes and no more. Can you see the difference? Can you see? For them, they are always worried whether their devotions and their services are accepted by God or not. That's why they keep praying for the acceptance of their devotions and their prayers, rather than praying for material needs, as we do today. There is absolutely nothing wrong in praying for material wishes. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. But just for you to understand the distance, or rather, in fact, my unspoken words are already expressed to you before I even speak them out. They are well known to you before I speak them out. My intent, my intentions are well spelled out to your knowledge. Subhanaka wa ta'ala. Fataqabbal minni. Innaka anta samiul alim. So that will tell you that if you want to have an offspring that is so excelling and outstanding, you need to be so much devoted to the Almighty Allah for you to have an offspring that you can be proud of, and the whole world will be proud of your offspring and your progeny. You need to be so much devoted. In the same manner, those people who are so devoted to their Creator, that's exactly what you expect. That is the wisdom behind narrating these stories to us, for us to learn that if we take this path, this is the kind of offspring that we should expect. And if we take otherwise, we should expect otherwise. The reason why people see that the nature is so just and fair is that it is the creator of the nature that is so just and fair, subhanahu wa ta'ala. You can only reap what you have sown and no more, and nothing, no other thing else. فَتَقَبَّلْ مِنِّي إِنَّكَ أَنْتَ السَّمِيعُ الْعَلِيمُ. فَلَمَّا وَضَعَتْهَا, the Almighty Allah just continued giving us the story of how the grandmother, how the grandmother of Jesus Christ gave birth to a child. فَلَمَّا وَضَعَتْهَا, when she put to bed, when she was delivered of her baby, she expected to have a male child, but alas, she got a female child. What was her reaction to having something contrary to what she wished? She wished to have a male child which is suitable for such kind of dedication. the kind of service to which she can dedicate the child to. A male child is more suitable to such kind of service, not female child. But she had a female child. Having seen that the child was female, she cried to the Almighty, Rabbi inni wabatuha untha. Oh my Lord, I happen to, in fact, I give birth to a female child contrary to what I expected. Oh my Lord, I gave birth to a female child. I've given birth to a female child instead of a male child. The Almighty Allah said, well, Wallahu a'lam about that. Such story should be conveyed to the neighbors and relatives, not to the Almighty. The Almighty Allah is much, much more aware of what He created than the mother herself. The Almighty Allah is much more knowledgeable, is much more aware of what she gave birth to. After all, He was the one that created the child. Certainly, it is true. It is an axiomatic reality that no male child, a male child, can in no way be compared with a female child, naturally, except in supernatural cases. But naturally, a male child can in no way be compared with a female child. Yet, وَإِنِّي سَمَّيْتُهَا مَرْيَمَ. Despite all this, I will still go ahead with my vow. I will not change my words. And here she is. Oh, here am I, naming her Maryam. Maryam in their language means Abida. That is the servant of Allah. I call her the servant of Allah, meaning that that dedication still stands. That vow is still binding and still bound by the verse Satan the accursed. Now, having had a female child did not stop her from fulfilling her vow. So we need to hear from the Almighty whether the vow was accepted or not, whether the dedication was accepted by God or not. Once He said, "Fataqabbal minni innaka anta samiul alim." Oh my Lord, accept my vow, this vow of mine, for you are the all-hearing, all-knowing. We need to listen to the Almighty whether the vow was accepted by Him or not. The Almighty said, فَتَقَبَّلَهَا رَبُّهَا بِقَبُولٍ حَسَنٍ. Since she said, فَتَقَبَّلْ مِنِّي فَتَقَبَّلَهَا رَبُّهَا. Her Lord accepted the dedication and He accepted the vow she made. A very good acceptance. بِقَبُولٍ حَسَنٍ. وَأَنْبَتَهَا نَبَاتًا. And He calls her to grow in a very good manner. Nabatan Hasana. وَكَفَّلَهَا. In another version, وَكَفَّلَهَا Zakariya. When we say وَكَفَّلَهَا Zakariya, meaning I made Zachariah, I charge him with the responsibility of guardianship for her. وَكَفَّلَهَا. When you read وَكَفَّلَهَا Zakariya, meaning Zachariah automatically took charge of bringing her up. Of course, that had to take some process because Zachariah happened to be one of the disciples of her father, of the father of Mary, Imran, who happened to be the cleric, the religious leader of the Jewish community in Jerusalem. So when when Zechariah argued with his fellows that I am more entitled, because every one of them wanted to take charge of bringing her up. Zechariah said, I am more entitled to that. After all, I am married to her aunt, or her elderly sister, her cousin sister. So I'm more entitled to bring her in her up. They said, no, we can't accept that from you. We need to go to the Jordan, that is the Jordan Sea, and throw, or rather cast our pens. Whosever pen stands on the water without it drowning, that means the Almighty Allah accepted him. And whosever pen stands on the water, that means Almighty Allah accepted him as the guardian for Mary. And they went there, they cast their pens, and theirs got drawn. Zacharias stood on the water, and the Almighty Allah said, وَمَا كُنْتَ لَدَيْهِمْ إِذْ يُلْقُونَ أَقْلَامَهُمْ أَيُّهُمْ يَكْفُرُ مَرْيَمَ وَمَا كُنْتَ لَدَيْهِمْ إِذْ يَخْتَصِمُونَ. You are not there, O our dear prophet. You are not there by the sea of Jordan, or the river of Jordan, when they were casting their pens. Yet here you are telling the story. So if you are not prophet, what are you? Of course, that means prophethood. So that is that. I'm going to stop here, inshallah. When we come back in the next session, we're going to continue exactly where we stop. Allahumma salli ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam.